Veve has launched the article for the MTL Cashout program beta that is going to be rolled out, and that is a very interesting and very important feature that is relevant for Ecomi investors as well as Veve collectible investors, so stay tuned for this video. Hey guys, it's a patient hodler coming at you with another video, and in this one, as you have heard right now, we are looking at the MTL and Cashout. As it is, we are going to look at the advantages and disadvantages from an investment perspective, but also for the company Veve itself. And we are going to take a look at the article and the conditions of the current version of this MTL beta. But before we start, please keep in mind that I'm a crypto and NFT investor and not a financial advisor. So please do your own research before you ape into Ecomi and the Veve collectibles and into the Cashout. Also, if you enjoy this type of content, consider leaving a like, subscribe to my channel, tap the bell to always get notified whenever I upload a video or start a live stream, and leave a comment in the comment section below. All of this helps my channel to grow and is an opportunity to basically give a free donation to this channel. So in advance, I am very, very grateful for everything that you guys do for me. Now with that all out of the way, let's get started. So a couple of hours ago, Veve Digital Collectibles official channel has launched the article for the MTL Cashout Beta program, including KYC process. So the first step for us is to look at advantages and disadvantages. And the first advantage, in my opinion, the most important, is that bringing MTL into the app, the possibility to be able to not only move cash into the app, but also move cash out of the app, is to establish trust into the app, into the team. First of all, that they hold what they promise, and secondly, that you really can buy and sell collectibles and therefore have one step further to real ownership, and that in itself will increase the trust of everyone from the small holder to the big whales into the app and into the possibility that the cash that is transformed in gems is not lost at all. The second aspect is flexibility. Even if you already trusted a lot in the app, it is very good to know that you can move money into and out of the app, because we all know as investors there are always new projects and new chances at the horizon, and maybe you want to reallocate, to transfer, to rebalance the portfolio. And now with the cash out implemented, this is suddenly possible and wasn't possible before. Then there is also the aspect of reputation, visibility and coverage, because at the moment the criticism was that gems and the gem value are not real money. But in the moment that you can cash out, you can transform your gains into real money. And therefore, there will be headlines and articles about people that with a little investment made a ton of money. And this wasn't possible before because no one could prove how much he would get out. It was always stuck at the level of I made so and so many gems. But now we can see the first articles of people becoming a millionaire in Veve with a couple of $1,000 or a couple of thousand gems of investment. My last advantage, and I'm not saying that my list of advantages is complete, but I will leave it at 4 points for now, is the entering of whales in the app. What does that have to do with MTL, you might ask? And the reason is that once you are able to cash out, even though with a fee, it is possible to move larger amounts of money into the app to work with it, because you know, and this is referring to the aforementioned reasons, that you can, in a case of emergency, still get your money, your gems out. We know that most of the whales that are around the Veve app also probably are invested in Ecomi and therefore waiting for the transfer between NFT and Ecomi without fiat involved. But we are going to look into that a little bit later. Let's get first to some disadvantages that I think are worth noting. The first aspect is the one of observation, because we are not having only in-game and digital crystals right now. We have a direct relationship with money and with the aspects of money transfers, money laundering, and transformation into various currencies into other countries. And therefore, there will be financial observation to see that everything is going right and to avoid shady and dark transfers throughout the Veve app. The second disadvantage is bureaucracy, because for Veve it must be a hell of an effort to get everything straight with every country, with every currency, and with the MTL provider itself and the legislation behind this. Because as you might already know, there are many differences between the financial laws of one country and another. And if you are operating with MTL and transforming an in-app currency back into a fiat currency, that cannot go without a lot of bureaucracy depending on the country. The last disadvantage that I want to mention here is the aspect of the entry barrier, because everyone will have to do KYC now if he wants to move some gems out of the app and transform it into fiat. And therefore the KYC process is for a lot of people something challenging, because they didn't have to do it as much as the people that are already working with several crypto exchanges and already know the drill. One more aspect before we are going to look into the article itself in the section of the conditions is this tweet from Ray Fixie. He says, OMI to NFT and NFT to OMI could have solved all MTL problems, on which I believe should be unlimited payout, faster, easier and simple to use. Veve official has gone beyond 50k payout app. People spend millions week in, week out. You should look into that, David, you and Daniel. Although I agree that OMI to NFT should have been the first thing to come, I highly disagree that it could have solved all MTL problems. And the reason for this is this investor structure in Ecomi and Veve. On the one hand, we have the OMI investors, and most of them have started investing in OMI and then came to the Veve app. And then on the other side, there are loads and loads of people that came into Veve and that are only invested in Veve and that have not a single cent in the OMI token, and most of them, or many of them, are not even investing in crypto and are only interested in buying Veve NFTs because it's easy to use, it's easy to enter, almost no entry barriers, and you can just buy with your credit card a very huge IP collectible. Evidence for this can be found on the amazing channel of Jason Colon, who shows us how many different wallets we have among the ranks. And as you can see, if you look at the upper percentile of the Ecomi wallets that hold a significant amount of Ecomi, we see around 35,075 different wallets that have an amount above 80,000 Ecomi. Now you might add another 30 to 60,000 wallets total that hold some kind of OMI, but then you're still only around 100,000 OMI wallets. And now you compare that to the monthly active users that are on the app, which is around 2 million. And yes, I know, probably there are also all the double accounts that are being used on the app, but still, if you say everyone is using 2 accounts, then you would still be at 1 million accounts on Veve versus 100,000 wallets on OMI. And this is the reason why I believe MTL is so important, because these, let's say 2 or 1 or around 1 million people that are not invested in OMI and that are not moving in the sphere, in the crypto space, and all the other ones, all the other retail investors that are coming from the Veve side in the future, because Veve will not stay at this size. It will grow way faster than the wallets on the Ecomi side. So for them, it will be the only way to be able to do KYC and cash out via MTL. And this is enforcing the advantages that I have mentioned before. Now, last but not least, let's look at the cash out conditions from the article Veve Payout Details, what you need to know. And these, besides a whole introduction how it will work that you can read for your own, you will find the link in the description of the video. We will only look at those conditions. And these we'll find here. Fees and withdrawal times. There are a few numbers to be aware of when processing payout. These details are given to you when making payout requests. First, you must have a minimum balance of 1000 gems to trigger payout transaction. So this could be already for very small investors that have only bought 1 or 2 comics a problem, because holding 1000 gems then requires an extra or an additional loading of gems to then sell, and that combined with the fee in point 3 would not be feasible. So I hope that in the future they will lower this limit a little bit so it's easier for smaller investors to pay out. There is a 50 gem minimum withdrawal. I think that's reasonable, and they don't have to change that, because this avoids basically that someone is overloading the system by doing 1 cent or $1 transactions in and out, and therefore the vulnerability of the MTL provider and of the app itself is decreased. A 10% fee will be applied to any payout transaction. So although I think this is a little bit high, it kind of protects the Veve app as well, because it will reduce the chance of money laundering, because a 10% fee is probably too high for that. But also it could hinder or limit the super big whales. So I would love to see a reduced cash out fee after the beta, maybe for the final version a fee that is below 5%. The maximum withdrawal amount for now is 50 gems in any 7 days period. And again, I hope this is only for the beta to see how it goes, because we know there will be whales in there that will move millions and millions in and out. And if you need 20 weeks to be able to cash out 1 million, that's definitely too much. There should be an upper limit that is so high that you are inviting the biggest whales in the market, the big guns that we want to see the value of our collectibles increase dramatically. And the 5th point is withdrawals will take on average 7 to 14 days. I personally do not care so much on how long it takes, and also it depends on the country, on the back situation, on how the MTL provider is, and so on. So this is not so relevant for me. The most relevant points for me are the number 1, 3, and 4. I would want to see changes in that in the long run after testing and seeing how it develops. But with that, I'm already at the end of the video. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about all of this, about the MTL, the fees, the advantages and disadvantages. And wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night or afternoon, and see you in the next video.